What is up, Pete? FTWTV HD here. I'd like to welcome you back to another YouTube video. And today we are going to be discussing a new Forbidden Light GX that has been revealed recently, and that is Dragonite-GX. This card is pretty damn cool. Now let's actually get into the translations before we do discuss where this card may fit in the standard format. So, the name, of course, Dragonite-GX. Dragon-type Pokemon, 250 HP. It's a Stage 2 evolution Pokemon. Its first attack is a Lightning Energy. It is called Dragon Claw and does 70 damage flat. Its second attack is a Water Energy, Lightning Energy, and a double Colorless Energy. Does a flat 200 damage with the condition that this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. Its GX attack is 3 colorless energies, and it's called Dragon Porter GX. It's put 3 dragon Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. That's that. Now, its weakness is Fairy. Not so great, unfortunately, with Gardevoir still in the current format. Gardevoir Zoroark being a very, very popular and powerful deck. It has 0 resistance, and it has a retreat cost of 3, which is not horrible because you can use Heavy Ball. So let's get into its HP. Now, its HP of 250 is fantastic. It is usually the common HP for Stage 2 GX Pokemon. If you look at Lunala, if you look at Solgaleo, they all have as well 250 HP. I'd say the quote-unquote weaker Stage 2 have less HP. For example, Gardevoir's only got 230. So usually around 230 to 250 is that range. So again, standard, pretty good. Makes it very bulky. It's going to be very hard to knock out. Let's talk about its first attack. 70 damage for 1 energy is absolutely fantastic. The reason why this is so great, okay, is if you do manage to get this out in the early game, if you manage to get a turn 2 Dragonite out, which we will discuss that later with regards to it being a Stage 2. But if you manage to get a turn 2 Dragonite out, you are getting an instant knockout on all of the setup starter Pokemon, because usually they will have 70 or 60 HP. So 70 is fantastic with a lot of starter Pokemon or basic evolution-based Pokemon. Usually now are being printed with 70 HP to avoid being one-shot by the 60 HP attacks, or, you know, for example, Buzzwole's Jet Punch. Now, 70 damage will just clean out, knock most of the starter basic Pokemon that are in play. So that's why it's so great. If you get this out before they get to evolve, then you can take advantage of that. However, with it being a Stage 2, you have to get it out in the early game to really utilize this attack. So it's got its downside due to it being a Stage 2. This is not something you're going to pull off right away unless you get it out immediately. Usually by the time you're going to get this card out, your opponent will have probably evolved all their Pokemon. So it's great on that sense, but whether or not you can use it in the early game is something that is quite awkward with it being a Stage 2. But let's discuss its second attack. The energy attachment is awkward. It is definitely awkward. With it being a dragon Pokemon, you can't use things like Aqua Patch to attach water energy to help accelerate. Also, I'm assuming this deck could be played with rainbow energy or, you know, other forms of well, you can't use counter energy on a GX, so rainbow energy would be the way around this, or you just find a way to get the energy attachment correct. Or there's actually a new supporter card, of which I don't know the name. Let's see if I can quickly find the name of it. Oh, there we go, Zinnia. So Zinnia is actually a new supporter card which will allow you to attack 2 basic energy to your dragon Pokemon, but that is if your opponent knocked out one of your Pokemon the turn before. So again, it's just slightly awkward with its energy attachment. But if you do manage to charge it up, again, with it being a Stage 2, you know, you're not going to get it out right away unless you do get the luck. But if you're not going to get it out right away, I guess you have the time to charge it up. But with it being 2 separate energies, this is why I'm never really a fan of dragon Pokemon in general. 2 separate basic energies is quite hard to deal with in a deck. So it's not fantastic. With it and also additional 2 colorless energy on top, I don't know. It's a very expensive attack. If they reprinted double dragon energy, this attack would be so much better. It would be so much easier to get out because it's just a double dragon, double colorless. I know, easier said than done, but it's a lot more easy to charge up. You have the potential to do 200 damage with just simple 2 energy attachments, so it's quite awkward as it is without a double dragon energy. Being in the standard format, that is. I know it's of course in expanded, but of course with it being high damage, it's going to be expensive. This Pokemon can't attack next turn. You can work around that. Ho-Oh, Buzzwole, Knuckle Impact, Phoenix Burn. You can work around that with Lunana Prism Star? I meant Duskmane Necrozma is what I meant to say, GX. You can work around it with that. You could play Switches. Guzma's always in play. Floatstones. So there's always a way to work around that. So that's not too problematic. It's just the awkward energy attachment. With it being 200 damage though, it is great. You're knocking out pretty much everything in the format with a choice band, other than those really beefy Pokemon. As I said, just stage 2s. So that's, again, a good thing. Now, its GX attack is absolutely insane. Being able to take 3 dragon Pokemon from your discard onto your bench. Bear in mind, it doesn't say basic dragon. It can be any dragon Pokemon. You could have 3 of your Dragonites in your discard pile. You could use your GX attack and get all 4 of your Dragonites out into play with that GX attack. It's fantastic, but I do have to make it clear that these types of GX attacks don't really see much play. With it being stage 2s, it's going to be quite awkward just getting one out anyway. You have to get them into your hand. You have to manage to discard them, and basically it's kind of pointless if you are playing a Dragonite as your main attacker, because you will have things like Dratini, Dragonair, of course, in your deck. They're all pointless if you use this GX attack. So I mean, it's got its pros and cons really. But it really does depend on how you're going to play it. You could potentially play a Dragonite GX deck with just 1 Dratini and 1 Dragonair. You really could with 4 Dragonite. If you really want to risk it, you could focus on getting your Dragonites into your hand, discarding them and GXing them out into play, which will give you more room for trainer cards and energy cards. So I guess there is some sort of use to it. It is a good attack, but I don't feel like it's going to see much play. There's a lot better GX attacks out there, but nonetheless, it is a good GX attack. Now, let's briefly discuss the awkwardness of stage 2s. Now, with it being stage 2, it has the benefit of high HP. However, it is just really, really hard to get out into play, and it makes it really hard to compete with those decks that do hit hard and are basic. It's really, really, really hard to compete with those. If you've got your Buzzwoles, if you've got, again, Ho-Oh, even Turtonator, right? There's loads of basic Pokemon that can hit hard, and it will really punish stage 2 decks. When it comes to, let's say you've got your Dratini out, Jet Punch hits the 30, you get your Dragonair out, another Jet Punch hits 60, your Dragonite, if you evolve into it and you don't get to heal it, is effectively 190 HP, leaving it within knockout range of that Buzzwole with a Knuckle Impact, Choice Band, or an Absorption. So that's the most awkward thing about stage 2. You usually are going to take some damage before you can get one out. So I don't know. It's a bit awkward. It does look pretty cool, though. It does look pretty cool, but I don't think it will see too much play. I think people will try and make a deck around it. That's my prediction. People will look at the card and go, oh, it looks pretty good. There may be a deck, but I don't think it's going to take off too much. I mean, with the Dragon support that is coming out, again, there is potential. There is definitely potential. But I just don't feel like Dragon Pokemon, especially Dragon Stage 2, really, I don't think they're there yet. I really don't think they're there yet. They do need a bit more support. I think if there's a reprint of Double Dragon Energy, it would be so much better. Because the only way of getting the awkward energy attachments out of the way is using Zinnia, and that means you have to have one of your Pokemon knocked out, so you have to go down a prize or 2. So, yeah. It's a bit of a hard one. It's a bit of a hard one. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts down below of this card. Do you think it will shake up the formats? Do you think it would just come out and no one will really do anything? They'll just be neglected, or do you think it'll meet that middle ground that I feel? I feel like people will try and work it out, but I don't feel like it'll cause any sort of riot. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you think, and of course, I'll have some more videos coming out with some more Dragon support, some more new GX cards that are coming out, of course, and I will definitely bring one out for Zygarde GX. Don't worry about that. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching very much. Please do leave a like on this video if you did enjoy. And of course, please do subscribe for more. I love you guys' support. It is really wonderful. It does help motivate me with regards to making these videos. So it's absolutely fantastic. Also, if you have any requests, any sort of GX Pokemon, even non-GX Pokemon that just look like they could work, let me know in the comments down below. You can request any sort of cards for me to look at. I'll try and have a look and see how it will fit. But other than that, I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you very much for your time, and peace.